Hello, Mrs. Talkington here. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of the three bears. We've got Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear and Baby Bear. And to make any of these bears, all you need is a cardboard tube, a pair of scissors and a black pen. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this tube down to the size that we want. So if we want Daddy Bear, we're going to cut it down to a big piece. If we want Mummy Bear, a little bit smaller, and if we want Baby Bear, we're going to make it smaller still. Now I'm going to make Baby Bear. So I've cut my tube down and I've drawn a line around the top because I'm going to draw two ears at the top and I'm going to cut them out. So you draw your two ears first and then take that line at the bottom all the way around your tube until you reach the other ear. Okay, we're going to cut that out. Be a bit careful, be a bit fiddly getting the scissors in. Go around the ears first. Might have to bend a little bit back so you can get your scissors in to cut. There we go. And I'm going to cut backwards around that one. There we go, until I get that piece out. And I might bend that round there to get my scissors in, so it's a bit tricky. Cut in that way, so I've got the space between the ears. Okay, let's bend that ear back. I need to cut that little bit of black off so we can't see it. There we go. And we're going to cut all the way around here. And then get my scissors in there, bend that ear up a bit. And follow that line all the way that I've drawn, all the way around till I get to the beginning. There we go. There we are. Bend his ears back. We don't need those bits, so we've got that piece there. All right, now I've already got another one here that I'm going to start with. I did some slightly bigger ears on this one. So all we need to do now is draw their face. Now you can decide what kind of face you want. Let's get the right end of my pen. I've got two ends to my pen. One end has got a brush bit and the other one's got a felt tip bit, and I'm going to use the felt tip end. Okay, so I'm going to start with the nose and I'm going to draw that big, it's like an oval shape or an egg shape, and at the top I'm going to draw a small black oval and I'm going to leave a little bit white so it looks shiny. Draw a line down. And then you can decide if you want a smiley bear or a sad bear. I'm going to make mine smiley, so I'm going to do two curves either side. Then I'm going to put the eyes in because I know where they go now. Two little dots for my bear. Inside his ears, I'm going to do a little rainbow shape and a rainbow shape that side. And then all I need to do is draw his fur. And that's just little lines all over his tummy. Going down. Right to the bottom, one more line, and there he is, there he's finished. You've got your own little baby bear that you can play with. I'm going to show you how to make a chair for one of the three bears. To make the chair for one of the three bears, you're going to need some card. Again, maybe from the same cereal box as before. A small box. If you've got a square one, it would be a really good idea. I've only got a rectangle one, and that's okay, like a cuboid, that's fine. Some fabric, or maybe some coloured paper that you might have at home. Some scissors and glue. And if you want to put some legs on the chair, like I did, 4 lids from a drinks bottle. Now you won't have to do those, but I'll just show you mine on the bottom there. You might want to put some legs on there. Let's move that. Okay, should we make a start? Let's move all the things out of the way. Now to start off with, we're going to get our box and we're going to cover it in our material. We're going to wrap it just like a present. Okay, now this time I'm going to put glue all over my box. to make sure it doesn't come off. So I'm going to start with my Pritt stick. Put a little bit of glue on every edge. I want it to stay nice and flat when I wrap it round. And I might put some extra glue on the other side the side where it all joins together to make sure it stays down. So I'm going to put that in the middle. Make sure I've got bits sticking out the sides, the same either side, because I'm going to need them to fold in a minute. So I'm going to pull this round and squeeze it on. Give it a little rub, and then pull this one round to make sure that it's nice and flat. Give it a little rub. Sometimes the fabric's got a little bit of creasing on it, so the glue, you've got glue all over the box, you can press it out. Now we're going to wrap the ends in just like a present, so we can push those two ends in first and then wrap those round. So that's how it's going to look. So I'm going to put some glue underneath and that all over that square at the end to stick the first bits down. So I'm going to push in one side, I'm going to squeeze it down, put some more glue on so when that goes over it's got something to stick to. You don't want your chair coming apart. Push that over, squeeze it down, and then you're ready to glue those down. Okay, need some glue under here. Again, lots and lots of glue. And it dries clear, so it doesn't matter. If you put too much on, squeeze that one down, and then you're going to need enough glue to put that one down. So lots of glue under there. A little bit of glue on there because I think it's going to join over in the middle. You can always come back if it starts to come apart a little bit. You'll realise which bits you didn't put enough glue on. And we turn round and we do the other side. So lots of glue in there again, all over that square. Now let's see if I've got a bit too, oh, I have got a bit too much material on this. I'm going to chop mine down just a little bit because mine's a bit long. So I'm going to cut round carefully. And cut a little strip off just to make it a bit smaller. You might have done yours brilliantly and you don't have to. Now push those bits in. That one. Squeeze that one down to the glue we've already got there. Now we can work out where we need the glue when we fold it over. We need the glue in that little triangle shape. So lots and lots of glue there. Squeeze that down. And the same for the other one. And turn my glue up, I need a bit more. It's not so warm this week, so things aren't drying so quickly, so it might take a little bit longer to make some of your models this week. It's raining, I can hear the rain outside. I'm going to put that little bit of glue under there. I can hear the rain outside, so it's not a nice day. There we go. We've got the bottom of our chair. Their little blue tips on there. Right, now we're ready to make the back. Now I've got a big cereal box and it needs to be big enough to go to the same sides of there and then to draw a shape. Now you might want to make a square chair and then you draw a square. Now in my one, I made a bit of a curvy chair, didn't I? So I'm going to see if I can do the same. So what I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to stick my material all over it and then I'm going to cut out my shape, and that way I get a nice edge to it because it will already be glued down. Now I'm going to glue, you could glue all over this bit so that the back of your chair is that wood, or you could glue on there, depends what your fabric is. It might be a bit see-through, you don't might want to see it. So let's see, I'm going to glue on this side so that my end of my chair is brown on the back and you can't see that I made it out of a cereal box. See through a little bit, but I don't mind. Now my chair is that wide, so I'm going to get my black pen. I'm just going to do a little line there and a little line there so that I know where my circle shapes go. I'm going to get my paper scissors. Hopefully it's going to cut through. Where's my little black line? There it is. Or I might have to get my other scissors. It's starting to bunch up. If you let it dry, it'll probably cut straight away. But I need to show you now, don't I? I'm going to go around in a circle shape. You could draw that circle shape, or you could just do it with your eyes. I can see where that little black line is. There we go. And my little black line, let's cut. There we go. So I've got the back of my chair. So I don't need those bits now. So I've got the bit that the bear's going to sit on, and I've got the back of the chair. All I need to do is stick it on. Put a little bit of glue at the bottom. Sticks nice and firm. There we are. And squeeze it on, let it dry. So give it a little squeeze, see if that'll come up. So you can see now where I've got the wood on the back now of my chair, and from the front you can see the lovely birds on the material. Now this is the point where if you want to put little legs on, you can. So you just put the glue on the flat bit. If you try and glue it on that bit, it's never going to stick because there's not much of the glue to go to, and these are a bit tricky anyway. Because they're plastic and not made of card, they don't stick as easily. And I found mine kept on slipping off. So I'm going to stick on there. In fact, I haven't even got enough room for the four lids. There we go. If you've got a bigger box or smaller lids, you can work out how many you're going to fit on. Let's put 2 legs on my chair. There we are. Ready for Baby Bear. Now you might have noticed that in my chair I made myself a little cushion, and all I did was get a bit of cereal box, cut it into square shape with material on, and then I used my black pen to draw some stitches around the outside to look like someone's done some sewing, and I did the same on my chair all the way round, and I put some buttons in the middle, and it's ready for Baby Bear. Watch out, Goldilocks might be coming along. I might sit on this chair, hope she doesn't break it. This time I'm going to show you how to make a bed for Baby Bear. You can see it's Baby Bear's bed. He's got his butt on the end and his name at the top. So that's the bear we made in the other video. There we are. And we're going to focus on how to make the bed. To make the bed, you're going to need some cardboard. So perhaps a cereal box that you can cut up. You're going to need a small box. If you want a big bed for a big bear, you're going to need a bigger box. I'm making one for Baby Bear, so I've chosen a really small box. You're going to need, now this is a choice today, you can find a piece of fabric and cut it into a rectangle shape, or if you've got some paper at home, you can use some paper to cover up your box. You're going to need some scissors, some glue, sellotape if you haven't got any, and your trusty black pen. Alright, let's start. Let's start with our little box. Okay, we're going to wrap our box. Now I've already cut my piece of material. I've cut it into a rectangle shape. So I'm going to put this down carefully. I've cut the edges so it's exactly the same. So it's a little bit like wrapping a present, but there's no end bits. We're going to wrap it right round just to make sure it meets before we start. It is, right. Let's put some glue underneath there. Lots of glue so it doesn't fall off. Lots and lots of glue, and press that down. You don't have to cover the whole box as long as it's pulling round. Put it there. I'm going to put lots of glue on here so that wraps around. Let me show you how it meets up. You make sure it's not too long and hanging back over, and that makes sure that the seam, the bit where it's all joined up, is on the bottom of the bed, which no one's ever going to see. Okay, so lots and lots of glue right to the edges because that's where it always comes off. Bend it right over, give it a little pull, squeeze it down. Now remember I said you could use sellotape instead if you want, because it's going to be on the bottom, nobody's going to see. Let's cut those bits off because the fabric's starting to fray a little bit. So you've covered your box. Now we've got these ends free because these are going to be covered up by the ends of the bed. So let's think about how we're going to make those. Now you'll notice that my card is brown on both sides. And I've done that by cutting out the shapes of card that I need from a box and gluing them together. So I put the glue in the middle, glue, glue, squeeze them together, and I've made a piece of card that's brown on both sides so it looks like wood, so I don't have to colour it in, don't have to do anything with it. So let's show you how to make the ends of the bed. Now you're going to need a rectangle and a square. Now the rectangle needs to be the same size as your box, so let's hold that up. So that's going to be the top end of the bed, and the square is going to go on the end. So let's hold that up so you can see it. So you'll have to measure it on the box that you've got. You might have to ask an adult to help you measure it so it's the right size. Let's take that apart a minute. Put that to one side. Now we're going to draw onto the wood before we stick it together. So we're going to do the bit for baby on the big rectangle, and we're going to do the B for baby on the end. Okay. And we're going to cut those nice little wood shapes up. Right, ready? Let's get my pen. So we're going to draw that rainbow shape that we're so good at. One there and one there, and join them in the middle. That's the top of the bed. We're going to do exactly the same on this one. If you're not sure what to do, you could draw on the end of a lolly stick if you've got one. That will give you just the right shape for that. And we're ready to cut it out. Let's put the lid on my pen. Let's cut that out, and then we can do the B for baby bear. So carefully cut round it. It's a bit tricky. All the way across, don't go too far, don't chop off that curvy shape. Round it goes. There we go. We just need to cut a little bit more off. There we go. And the same there. Just keep turning it around. If you can't reach it, just keep turning the card around until you get to the bits that you need to cut. So that's the end of the bed. And then this is the top of the bed. These rainbow shapes remind me of McDonald's. They've got a big half an shape. There's like golden arches if you can draw those. One bit of there. Turn it round. I'm cutting back the other way. There we go. Right, we are ready to draw the name on the bed. Let's get my pen again. Make sure I get the right end. Okay. On the top of the bed, we're going to draw a rectangle. Remember, that's 2 long sides and 2 short sides. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of detail. I'm going to do a smaller one inside because I wanted to make it look like it's a little plaque on there, and 2 diagonal lines. It was like a little bit like a picture frame on there. That one stuck to my hand, and then I'm going to write baby in here. Yeah. That one's ready, and then on the bottom of the bed I'm going to draw the same little rectangle. Another one inside. And I'm going to do a B, a big B, capital B for the start of his name. And I'm going to decorate it with some leaves, like the ones we did in Jack and the Beanstalk. So a wiggly line, then draw a leaf either side, one at the top, one at the bottom. I'm going to do some dots to make it look like it's got some flowers on. There we are. So that's ready to stick on to the bed. We just need to get our bed back. Okay, here we go. So we need to put some glue on the ends, lots and lots of glue. Make it nice and sticky. You can even bend that down a little bit. And let's do that the other way around. Let's put, so the fabric's the right way around. They might have a picture on your fabric, so I'm going to glue the top one first. So you can see me putting on the top end of the bed, and I'm going to stick it on in the middle. So you can see baby. There's a bit hanging down the bottom for the legs of the bed, and give it a little squeeze. So push it onto the table, give it a little squeeze. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of this one. I've already got quite a bit of glue on there, so that should stick quite nicely. And squeeze that on. Give a little squeeze, and then turn it round. Before it dries, turn it round, because you want to make sure that your bed has got legs that are the same, because if one's too high up and one's too low down, you're going to have a wonky bed for your baby. I think mine needs to go up just a little bit, give it a little squeeze, and let's put it down like that so we can see. Oh yeah, I think that's a bit high at the top. Give it a squeeze at the ends, and then you can let it dry, and you're ready for your own bed for Baby Bear. Brilliant, well done.